Welcome back to the newest episode of Ryanology. I'm your host, Ryanology, and thank you for tuning in. On this episode, I'm very fortunate to have an interview with our very own Mr. Robert Perrotti as we talk about the new Business, Innovation, and Tech Department here at DHS, as well as some of his feats in the media department. Please stay tuned and enjoy.
Roadway safety is a crucial part of driving. Paying attention to your surroundings ensures a safe driving experience for everyone. Notice how the bad driver runs right through the stop sign, putting the pedestrian at risk. When you see a stop sign, you must come to a complete stop and grant the right of way to the pedestrian. School zones mean you drive under 20 miles an hour and pay attention to all pedestrians. The attentive driver pays attention to the stop sign and allows the pedestrian to cross the road.
Welcome back. On this episode of Ryanology, I have our very own media teacher and the new head of the new department here at the Dartmouth High School, Mr. Robert Perrotti. How are you today?
Good. How are you doing, Ryan?
Good.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
On the set, officially?
Yeah.
I'm usually working behind the scenes.
But it's great to have you in front of the camera.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
So I wanted to bring you on today to talk a little bit about your role as the new department head, as well as your role as the media teacher for the past few years.
Sure. So the new department is the Business, Innovation, and Technology Department here at Dartmouth High School. And yes, I'm the new lead teacher, so I'll be heading up that department. And in that department, it'll encompass all the what we formerly know as the computer science courses, the business courses, as well as the engineering department. So we're kind of merging those three departments together into one concise, easy to find department, which will be BIT. We can call it BIT, but Business, Innovation, and Technology. And quite excited about the new department here. And we'll be offering some new exciting courses that we're working on. So there's a lot in the works, a lot in the plans right now. It's fairly new. We just had our first meeting last week, so we're currently working on many new agendas that we hope to implement here at the high school this year alone. So we have a lot of work ahead of us, but like I said, myself, all the staff involved in the department, we're all very excited now that we're a bigger team. And we share a lot of the same students, a lot of the same sort of ideas in terms of the curriculum and how that's involved. And so we're very excited to get started.
And when did you start at the high school?
Oh, so I started back in 2017. I transferred here from New Bedford High School. I was a media teacher over at New Bedford High School, and then for a while, and then our department changed there to information technology, so I taught some of those classes and then came over 2017 to specifically do media here at the high school.
And how would you say that timeline from 2017 to 2022 kind of made you into this role?
Well, I would say when I came over in 2017, we basically had a space. There wasn't much for equipment. We didn't really have sets at the time. I think if you've seen some of the photos that we've posted throughout the years, but we basically had almost like an empty canvas to work with. So originally we started working with DCTV. Students had to take field trips once a month over to the DCTV studios because we didn't have a working studio. And we produced our news program at the time, and it wasn't weekly. We now do it weekly, but back then we started it as a monthly episode type program about the high school, and it worked really well. So after that first year, we were able to actually get some equipment through budget, through grants, to set up a basic kind of working studio where we had maybe a couple of cameras in the studio. We had a basic, control room set up, but we couldn't, we could only do the basic sort of stuff in terms of production. And then from there, we just blossomed into what you see today. Now we have, state-of-the-art sets that are being built, and this is just one of another set. I like to call it our phase 3. This was our phase 2. But we have a phase 3 currently in production, which will include a brand new, beautiful news desk, which is being built by our engineering department here at the high school, and also another similar video wall to this one. The one for the news set that we're producing is actually going to be slightly bigger than this video wall. We're going to have 6 screens on the video wall as opposed to the 4 that you see here. And now that we know how to do this, I mean, we actually did this last year with students, and now that we know how to actually make a video wall work, we're kind of going to town on that and making the next one a little bigger for our other side of the studio for our new set coming in. So a lot of changes coming in this year alone. We're always improving here. We're always trying to go to the next level, and that's what I like to see with the new department. We want to take our department and take it to the next level. We want students to be prepared not only for college, but to go maybe right into the workforce, working on some of their jobs that they would consider a dream job, their dream career. We want to make dreams become reality for our students. And I can just tell you as an example, Kate and Lisa, who you know well, graduated from DHS 2 years ago. He's now a sophomore at Emerson College. And he recently got a position in the Harvard ESPN sports media program.
Wow.
And he said to me over the phone, Mr. Perrotti, and I still keep in touch with many of our students that have graduated. Mr. Perrotti, he said, everything I learned here at the high school, everything that I learned here at the high school and working with DCTV put me to that next level above many of my peers that didn't go through a program like this and didn't have the opportunities like I had, that I'm able, as a sophomore in college, to already get a professional position, getting paid, working in the field I love, and doing my dream job already as a sophomore in college. So I think we want to see more of that happen here from the high school. We see that, with the band program. Obviously, as a band member, that the band program kind of has that same mentality.
Absolutely.
They always go to the next level. They always strive for the top for their students in their program. Well, I hope to do the same for our new department. We want to strive for the top for mainly our students, but also for the program. Our program is successful because of you guys, because of the students that are involved in it. And it's our job as teachers and staff to help you guys get to those goals that you want to attain. The word can't is not in our vocabulary. And I think Mr. Flint would say the same. I mean, you know Mr. Flint very well, the music director. He has, I believe, the same mentality. The word can't is not in our vocabulary, but the phrase, how can we, is in our vocabulary. How can we get a professional looking studio like the one we have here? How can we create a professional looking news desk, a professional control room, with all the tools, and those tools which are necessary for getting us to those levels. And so we hope to also implement more professional style labs, not only in the media program, but in the business program. Wouldn't it be great to have a state-of-the-art financial center with various monitors showing, you know, the stock trends, the computers there to work on in the stock market and have kids learn about that. We hope to implement that in the business department. In the computer science department, wouldn't it be great to have an esports lab up to par with some colleges that you see where, again, state-of-the-art equipment, state-of-the-art technology, where students can go in there and see the potential that they have with the tools there that they have to use, and follow their dreams in terms of what they want to do, in terms of their careers that they want to get involved in. So we have a lot of work ahead. Obviously, this has been many years in the working. In the set that we're sitting here today, this has been a good 5-year project here. We started this idea just as a dream from photos that we saw online, and you know, we said, how can we do this? You know, that was the phrase. How can we create a set like this and bring it to the high school? And you know, we had some hiccups. We had some. We didn't know how much the video wall was going to cost. We had it priced out to have one professionally installed, and it came back at an astronomical number, at like close to $50,000 to do a 4-screen video wall.
Wow.
Well, we couldn't afford that, so we met as a group, the students and I, and we put that phrase out there. How can we do it? How can we get this set in our studio? How can we make this a reality? So we applied for several grants. The Dartmouth Education Foundation was one of them that funded the material that was used. And we did the video wall for close to $3,000 and got the same quality as what it was going to cost for $50,000, almost $50,000. But that's the mentality that, you know, I want to push forward in our department, and moving forward, it's not going to be, you know, some of the goals that we have may be short term, but it's seeing the bigger picture long term in the years to follow, in like the next 5 years. Where do we see our program in the next 5 years? Okay, we don't see our program in the next 5 years as an empty space, an empty room, but we see it filled with all kinds of tools and technology, and the students using those tools and technology. So it's a long answer, but
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, absolutely, just bringing not only the students and the media program, but really the whole department, bringing it into the future.
correct.
For the students. And I feel like that's one of the most important things. You know, I've been very lucky to have all these wonderful guests from either around town, around the school, around the district, and obviously coming from the viewpoint of a student, it's very endearing, you know, having these people working so hard, especially you with this program, bringing it really from what it was from the ground up, seeing it develop over time.
Absolutely.
For the folks at home who may want to see, I know older episodes of our news program have all these photos of where it started. Really, it was just a big blue wall. You know?
That's all it was. Or the gray curtain that
Yeah.
we still have, but we don't really use at this time, point in time. But yeah, it was just we had a monitor behind students with a gray curtain, and it was just one camera shot, and that's pretty much all it was.
Yeah,
when we started, yeah.
But bringing it up to this, you know, advanced furniture, advanced technology, working with really the whole town of Dartmouth to just make this and put this together, and knowing that in the future it won't just be here, but really all over the school where students will be impacted. It's just amazing to hear.
Great, yeah, thank you. So, yeah, and like I said, all of our classes, all of our curriculum in the new department, we hope that it'll be the same type of quality that you see here, professionalism, but also having fun. I mean, you guys know, and all the students involved in this media program kind of know that I'm very professional in nature in terms of the productions and the quality of the work that we kind of expect. But at the same time, we also have a great time. We have fun. We have awards banquets. We have get-togethers in terms of productions. We'll meet earlier. We'll talk about what's going on. It's also about being, I like to kind of use the phrase that we're using now. Mr. Shea is kind of pushing that same phrase, is one Dartmouth. And like you said, it is the whole community, like bringing on David Tattlebaum, and now in the future working with him possibly in the, he's actually on the history committee for the town. So there's an idea with school committee member Mary Waite to work with them on a whole like kiosk technology type feature that can be placed in front of the school. So if you want to learn the history of Dartmouth High School, you can go straight to that kiosk and research all the information right from kind of like a multimedia kiosk. And what a great opportunity for students to work on a project like that, a real world based project, something that they would do outside of the school community, where they could do professionally in the future as either, after going to college, graduating, or even after high school trying to work on something like that. But that's what we hope to bring too as well. Along with the tools, we want to bring professional quality projects and programs working with the community of Dartmouth locally, and maybe even possibly further out in terms of like the South Coast area. We had on one of our new programs, senior Hannah Lima had on the president and CEO of the United Way of Greater New Bedford. And after filming that episode of the show Kinda Hannah, I spoke with Michelle Hampman, who's the president and CEO of the United Way, and asked, wouldn't it be great if we built a partnership and students here could work on projects or programs that could assist them in the work that they do. So we are branching out. We are definitely branching out, and we are growing. And I wouldn't just like to see the media program grow, but now I'm going to be focused on seeing that our department will grow in the same manner, in the same way.
And it definitely kind of connects with Mr. Shea's phrase, school doesn't end at 203.
Exactly.
And it's the truth. I mean, we have students here, theater, band, media, really every after-school program. They're getting connected, they're getting plugged in, and they're getting real-world opportunities, and it's the most important thing. A mini-series that we'll be focusing on, we brought on those students that will be going into the Marines. It doesn't just end here. You can either go into the workforce, go into the Army, go into college. You have different options, and being able to introduce that during high school, very important and very useful. And having Caden as an example just shows how going into the future with this new tech and basically this new life, we're able to still move with it and get students plugged in.
And we've, just branching off on in terms of our talk, but the going out into the profession field, just as an example too, I'd like to give you one good example from this past summer. We had a junior from last year, Holly Raposo, who's now a senior. She actually acquired a position working for a performance video company, that's the name of the company, locally in town, filming dance recitals throughout the state of Massachusetts. And she got paid very, very well for her work, and she was and still has the skills to do that type of work just coming out of this program. And just as an example, she was paid in the $30 an hour range mark is what she got paid as a junior, finishing up her junior year in high school. So that, wow. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing that we can actually prepare students to that level and get them out in the workforce right now to do that sort of work. But we hope to do that across the board and have students prepared that well that they can do that type of work. And that, like I said, they need the tools, they need the advisors, they need the people behind them to make that happen and bring that dream to a reality. And that's what we plan on doing more of.
Yeah, it's the most important thing, really.
It is, it really is.
Well, I'd like to thank you for coming on the show today, Mr. Perrotti.
Thank you.
Thank you once again for all the amazing things that you do for the
Thank
students
you.
and the staff here. And I really can't wait to see what we have going in for the future.
Sounds good. You might have to bring me on for like a recap towards the end of the year.
Of course.
That'd be great. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Ryanology. I'd like to send a big thank you to Mr. Perrotti for making all this happen, as well as his dedication to the new department, as well as the students here at DHS. Please stay tuned for the following episode of Ryanology, which will be out in just a few weeks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon for any future updates and uploads we may have. Thank you.